How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
All of this can be simply summed up by the definition of insanity, doing the same thing multiple times, expecting a different result. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Silver Surge Gaming channel. We're here to discuss the embarrassing situation of wbgames, as the late David Hayter, president of wbgames, has stepped down after 12 years, and since he has done that, a lot of brand new information of wbgames has been coming out on what's been really going on within the studio and why all these games have been taking so long, what's been the situation, why they've been so bad at communication and everything that's been going on. So sit back, grab some snacks, we're about to get into this all diggity-dack. So, here we go. Well, apparently it's been reported a wbgame has officially canned several games, rebooted Wonder Woman, and apparently has confirmed an Arkham game within development. Yes, that is true. Another Arkham game is coming. And you might think, yay! I'm so excited! But you shouldn't really be, because, well, for multiple reasons, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But let's get into the nitty-gritty details of what has been really canned and gone and rebooted. So apparently, as we all know, two games have been kind of canned that were pitched to WB by Montreal, which was overall a Flash game. Yes, you heard that correctly. A Flash game was pitched to WB and was completely canceled and canned from ever seeing the light of day. So that's lovely. And if you didn't know, there was a Flash game that did almost come out a long time ago, I believe on PS2 or PS3. It was being widely developed. It didn't really get past, I think, the alpha stage of like whole production, but like there was tons of models created, gameplay we even got released not that long ago back. You can even watch it up on YouTube. It was really interesting what they were going to really do with the world and its characters. It had a lot of villains and heroes in it, including a lot of like Flash's rogues gallery and Flash's team members from like different comic book eras. Reverse Flash was going to be in the game, Gorilla Grodd. There was like tons of aspects. A lot of concept art was even released. Like hell, even Kid Flash was going to show up in the game too, which was actually quite interesting. I was actually widely impressed with like seeing a lot of the things that were going to be made for that game title, and it's sad that they never got to see the light of day. But apparently we're never gonna get a Flash game or fucking anything, because also Superman game was also canned all the way back to even before the Batman Beyond Damian Wayne game was in like kind of pre-production. And then that got canned because, you know, Josh Keaton was originally going to play the voice of Damian Wayne for the Batman Beyond game. And then he says that the game was canned specifically because, you know, the leaks of all the villains, the concept art, the lore, all the characters got leaked out. And that's what canned it. But I think there was more kind of to it behind the studio, considering there was like a lot of messiness going on, even with the head development of like the movie studios and the TV part of like the entire company. But overall, like, they canned a Flash game. They even canned a John Constantine game, man. Imagine how hard that would have went to fight up against demons with spells and have like a badass like John Constantine and just go straight on crazy with a rated M title. I think that would really work so well. I really would have wanted that. Even the Flash game, man, but apparently we can't get that, nor can we get a Superman game. We're probably never going to get a Green Lantern game. Like, it's absolutely terrible we can't get any other Arkham game besides Batman, which, fine, yeah, Batman, I'm fine with it, but, like, you know, there's more to, you know, the DC world than just Batman that you could really do that these characters actually deserve to have. And it's ridiculous that the Flash game was canceled because of the Ezra Miller movie. How does that have to do with anything the game was going to be? There are two different platform medias, which are going to do two different things. Unless the game was going to be like a movie adaptation or a movie tie-in to what the movie was, then I could understand. But if it wasn't, there was no fucking point, because the difference is the movie, if you're doing a movie tie-in, you're kind of held to this like list of things you have to check off and have to be and represent, and you have to get done, and you kind of like locked behind any creativity that you're allowed to put into it and freedom to have. besides having a game where you can do any storyline of the Flash and really like just let your legs stretch out and grow the character, involve it, and actually be more creative than being held back by some kind of like blueprint that you have to follow. It's baffling to me, like how they would think in any type of way that the movie itself would impact the video game. Two different forms of media, two different types of fan bases, completely two different types of industries with different forms of impact in like our culture and pop culture in general. I don't get it. WB's incompetence just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and it's so fucking baffling that they're just allergic to cash. They really are. And I kind of predicted this way back when I even talked about like the Suicide Squad with the clones bullshit and how that was really terrible, and how they finished the Suicide Squad by half-assing it with the squad pretty much none of them died, apparently. All the Justice League members are alive. And they all were working with the Suicide Squad behind the scenes, and they all defeated it in this, like, stupid little fucking, art slideshow cutscene thing that wasn't even a cutscene. And that's it. But guess what? Wonder Woman's fucking dead because she's actually died by a fucking Superman clone. And Robin's dead. So I don't know how you're gonna handle that, especially with all that going on. So I don't know how the hell you're going to do anything with the new Arkham game unless there's a couple completely ways. And this is where we're getting back into why I have worries for this. You can either go to Batman Beyond and do Damian Wayne or Terry McGinnis. I think it would be more smart to do probably Terry, but maybe you could do Damian Wayne because of the hints in Arkham City of Damian Wayne possibly being there, because Talia mentioned the events of them kind of like doing the fucking do and getting it down in Boogie and fucking Boogie Town, you know what I mean? And smacking ass like it's just, okay. But other than that, like, they could do that. They could Terry McGinnis and then just focus on that and really branch off with the different, like, protagonists and, you know, work on, like, the future. Especially with Kevin Conroy's path. Or you can go at a more simpler way and do the prequel era with Roger Craig Smith and really focusing on the early years of Batman, because there's like 10 years of Batman they can like focus on, because the other 3 games were like focusing on like the last like 3 years technically, even though Suicide Squad said he came back, blah blah blah, but like they can completely even like say that game's not canon, there's alternate universe, blah blah, whatever. They can like say that and just completely retcon it, which I much prefer they do, because it was just terrible. Down to gameplay, story, lore, characters, everything was just, it was shit. It was shit served on the platter with a fucking bow, making you think it's pasta. And like, it's not. It's alright, it's fucking shit. It smells like shit, looks like shit, it must be shit. It's shit. Alright? And they didn't listen to feedback. Like, I don't understand. It's baffling. But other than that, they can do the prequel era and focus on the beginnings of Dick Grayson's Robin, the rise of Riddler, the tie-ins with the League of Shadows, and how like Bruce has like how Bruce first met them, and how they has like more League, because they mention that a lot in Origins with Shiva and everything else, and lead it up to City and how it really affects City and the League, and you can really branch off from that. Or you could focus on the timeline with Batgirl, or the fall of Batgirl and her turning into Oracle with the Killing Joke, or focus on the meetings of Jason Todd and the fall of Jason Todd when he got kidnapped. Like, you could do so fucking much shit within those span of years with Roger Craig Smith, because I think he really does a really great young Batman perfectly, and just focus on that, and that's great. And then make some other characters from different universes, like Superman game, please. A Flash game, please. Please stop saying no, WB, because this is getting ridiculous that you only think Batman is the only fucking cash grab you have. Like, you're using Batman as a cash grab, and eventually you're gonna run out of juice. You need to focus on other titles that are more than just Batman. I love you, I love what you do, but I also don't have faith, because a lot of the people who made those great Arkham games are not really at the studio anymore, and a lot of them left because of after Arkham Knight or during the development of Suicide Squad, because we had that huge giant gap of no video games, besides Gotham Knights, which was like not really that great. It had potential to be good if they just fixed some things, which WB Montreal pitched to Warner Brothers, and they denied them to do a Gotham Knights revamp, which would have been very necessary. They could have added more side missions, more villains, more characters to play as, a better combat system, make it more fluid and fast, better vehicles for crying out loud, more comic book costumes to implement, or even more from like the games and shit. Or they could even like give us countering moves and other like they could have done so much to fix that game and bring it back, because it actually had more potential in my opinion than Suicide Squad. But nope, I guess not, because we're allergic to money and we just don't want to do anything right. Apparently, we just want to half-ass everything, because that's WB now, because that's all they care about, is just half-assing shit and completely shitting on their own shit. Because they don't care about their IP, they don't care about the future franchises, and they're really diminishing them, wearing them down, and tearing them apart little by little over time, and it's really sad to watch. I want them to succeed. I just don't really have faith in this company, considering they still have ties with Sweet Baby Incorporated that wrote Suicide Squad, that really ruined the lore, that didn't really pay attention. I honestly, like, and just it's not the same people. It doesn't feel like they have the same passion that the other previous Arkham developers had, or the same creativity, or the same mindset, and the same drive. It just doesn't feel like it's there anymore. Plus, especially when you're not having Paul Dini write any of the Batman games too, it definitely goes off the rails. I think Arkham Origins story did pretty good for what it was, that it wasn't even Paul Dini, especially for a prequel. I think it did actually really, I think it did really good, honestly. Yeah, there were some little mess ups here and there, but like, I think overall it was a really great story, and I think it's one of the GOATs of the Arkham franchise. It's well deserved. It deserves a remaster. It deserves a proper sequel. It does like, and even Camouflage. Camouflage, I would love them to go back, because I think Arkham Shadow was actually phenomenal for a VR title, and I was really impressed with them having a VR title, especially them getting an award for VR of the year, and how innovative that game was, and how it added so much more to the prequel era of Batman, which I'm so impressed with, especially with Two-Face and all that. And I love Roger Craig Smith as earlier Batman. Perfect, just perfect. I thought that game was absolutely amazing. I wish they did more on console, or maybe branch it off to other VR, headsets. That would be great. Even though I know that Meta was the one that backed and financially backed, Arkham Shadow, so that's why it's stuck on MetaQuest. But overall, I think they can really do something with the future with the product if they just handle it correctly. In other terms, and even Wonder Woman. Let's get into fucking Wonder Woman as the last one, crying out loud. Oh my god. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is how you know they don't know how to handle their franchises, and this is why you don't release any trailer or announcement way before a game is ready to be shown off or shown or given to the public in any type of manner. It's been 3 to 4 years since we last seen the last trailer of Wonder Woman anything, and now the game is being fundamentally rebooted, completely rebooted. Taking out the Nemesis system, which was going to be having, like, Diana befriend enemies and do all this betrayal. The Nemesis system was really famous in the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games that were really great. And it would have been really phenomenal for Diana, and it makes more sense because her character really represents, like, Aphrodite, the goddess of love. So she's that representation of trying to turn also people from corruption to good in the midst of even battling, even though that she is a warrior at times. Like, they could have really done that, but no, they're scrapping all that, even though they spent over $100 million on the game already to completely reboot it, take out the Nemesis system for a story, action, adventure-driven title. Holy crap, how many times are we going to completely not use the Nemesis system and just leave it on the shelf to collect dust? It was absolutely fucking ridiculous for WB to copyright that system for nobody to use ever, which could have really innovated and evolved and really gave amazing, fantastic experiences to any other game with those systems. Like the betrayal system, like the ranking system, assassinations, the resurrection things, like the craziness that the Nemesis system could fucking do, especially in a Batman game, is amazing. With gangs, villains, gangs ranking up, gangs going after you, strengths and weaknesses, having ambushes, gang rivals, assassination attempts, bodyguard assassinations, like fucking double agents, like all this shit. Dude, that would have been fucking tight for a Batman game, dude. Just imagine it. Oh my god, yeah, people would be playing that for fucking days, weeks, months. I'm telling you, the game would go off the chain because it would be different every time for a Batman game. Every time when you play it, it would be differently. Every time you have a different nemesis within the crime syndicate or the crime lord. Like, bro, like, oh, dude, just imagine how crazy it would be for that to happen. Like, I would be all for a nemesis system in a Batman game. Just please use the system and stop throwing to the curb because I'm so sick of that, man. So sick of that. It's so bad that you kind of leave that into the dark and don't use it, especially with Wonder Woman. And now Wonder Woman's in trouble, and we don't know how that's going to end up. And I'm actually really upset because I was actually kind of excited for that game. And now it's in fucking production hell, like everything else, because WB doesn't know what the hell they're goddamn doing. And I don't understand. Like, who is making these decisions? Who's on the project lines? Who's doing all this? Because if it's James Gunn, which I already know he's fucking up already the movie fucking part of everything, and I have no faith in that shit. I really don't. For multiple goddamn reasons. I have no faith in anything in this company. And it's really sad. And I want these guys to do great. I want them to do beautifully, but I don't know if Rocksteady is going to be able to deliver the same high-level quality of an Arkham title or a video game in general like they usually did before. I know Arkham Knight has its, like, downfalls and, like, doubts and, you know, kind of scars to it and shit, but I think it still was a really great addition to the Arkham universe. Even though I wish Gotham was bigger, I wish they didn't emphasize the Batmobile so much in the game, I wish the story made more sense and was more stretched out, and they should have used honestly Hush, and the side missions mattered more, and I wish there was more boss fight. You see how there's more problems going on the more you talk about Arkham Knight? But the gameplay for it is fucking amazing. The idea for it is a beautiful. The gameplay, the graphics are immaculate. Like, for a game that was under Unreal Engine, a prototype version of the Unreal Engine 3, it beats half of the games even now that have come out in terms of quality. Like, how do you go down when you've been up so much? I don't get that. I just don't know. I don't know what WB's doing. Everything just seems like it's falling apart. I just want them to do good. And to stop all this crap, man, because I just want them to go back to quality. But I also would like them if they also allowed other studios to work on other DC characters, like even Naughty Dog or any other character, like how Marvel's doing it right now. They got so many Marvel games coming out. Captain America and Black Panther, the Black Panther game, the Iron Man game. Goddamn, like, dude, like, the amount of Marvel games are coming out. And then you got Marvel Spider-Man 3 coming out. You got the Wolverine game coming out. Like, dude, they're already in production. Blade, for crying out loud. They're on a roll, for crying out loud. This is Marvel. And Marvel's been killing in the gaming industry. DC, please, get your stuff together, man, because I want you to do great. And you need to do great. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for more content like this. Please, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned to any upcoming content. Other than that, guys, please keep it right, keep it tight. Other than that, I'll see you in the next night. Later.